Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have one of my guys, white XJs, in the studio. If you missed the last video, we just did custom long arms on this. We also ended up doing a Johnny joint upgrade on the factory Dana 30. If you missed that video, go back and check it out. But for today, we're gonna be showing one of the products we've had for quite a long time for the XJ, and it's our adjustable leaf spring shackles. Now, before we get to install on the shackles, I did want to talk briefly about our adjustable shackles. So we offer two different sizes for the XJ. Our shortest size is this one in front of me. This is the one I think we're going to be going with on Corby's Jeep here. Now, the bare minimum adjustment adds 1.25 inches of lift to the Jeep. And because of how compact the shackle is, your factory shackle is 3 inches. This one ends up being closer to 5.5 inches eye to eye. Now the second range we have adds 2 to almost 4 inches of lift. Now if you need more lift than that in the rear of your XJ, you need to look at upgrading your leaf springs as opposed to running a shackle, because you get a really long shackle, you can start having a lot of issues. Having something adjustable in the rear for the XJ has always been a huge plus for leveling out your lift. Often you can get a tall front coil and the leaf pack settles more than you like, so your rear end's a little low, or you add an extra bumper. You need to be able to fine tune your suspension, and an adjustable shackle allows you to really dial it in. Some people like a higher rake or a higher rear end. Some people have the spare tire, a steel bumper, and a ton of tools in the back, and you need to just bump it up a little bit so it sits level. That's exactly what this is for. We'll talk about lengths and how to set your height to get it exactly where you want it. These are a product that you do have to set and adjust before you install. So it's important to know what you're going for and what length you want them set at before you go tearing apart your Jeep and installing. We'll get the Jeep in the air and we'll talk about that. For today's install, we're gonna be matching the shackle that's on here and just swapping it out for the adjustable ones. We're not gonna really be changing any height because I talked to my guy, he likes where it's sitting right now. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a measurement. Now, with any suspension component, what we care about is the eye-to-eye measurement. For this shackle, the bolt-to-bolt is about 6 inches. So this is 1.5 inches lift shackle. Your factory shackle on the XJ is 3 inches bolt-to-bolt. Now, because the way the suspension works on any leaf spring, your axle is bolted basically to the center of the leaf spring, and when you adjust the height at just one end, you're cutting that in half, and that's what you get at the axle. If we lift or drop this leaf spring end 3 inches, we're essentially getting 1.5 inch lift at the axle, which is what we care about. So when you're calculating your measurements or trying to decide how much you want to lift or adjust the rear of your Jeep, whatever measurement you add or subtract to your shackle, cut that in half, and that's what you're getting at the axle. So if you're like, I just want 1/2 inch, you're gonna make 1 inch adjustment at your shackle. A lot of you probably have dealt with this. I've been warned that these bolts can be tough. If you've worked on an XJ on the leaf springs, you know that there is a nut cert inside the frame here that is notoriously a problem child. My first XJ, I dealt with this where it was stripped. You basically get to the point where you just impact the ever-living hell out of it, get it in, and hope it never needs to come apart again. That's probably happened on this Jeep. That bolt, look at that washer. That is not tight. So that's gonna be an issue. This one, it looks like it's all the way in and torqued down. So maybe the driver's side's okay, but the passenger side, I'm ready for a fight. And if we have an issue, we're gonna fix it. I've never welded a new nut or dealt with this, so we'll figure it out. I'm gonna start on the driver's side. That hopefully is the easy side. We'll get the shackle swapped out, but we're gonna get this higher in the air. We are gonna support our rear end because the only thing that holds the rear end in place are your leaf springs and your shocks, and we don't want all the weight on the bottom of our shocks. So let's get this in the air, get it supported, and then this has been soaking in penetrating fluid because we've had this in here and I knew I was gonna do this video. I don't think penetrating fluid is gonna save us today because I'm pretty sure from what my guy has told me that the passenger side is absolutely stripped, but we'll see. Cross our fingers, we'll get at it. So I can already tell. This one has 2 different nuts and just a chunk of all thread through it. This is very typical of XJs. Old Jeeps in general. You make it work, especially if you're doing your own lift kit. I'm ready though. Okay, let's get started on this driver's side, and hopefully it's the easy side. The breaker bar, moment of truth right here. Penetrating fluid, be nice to me. Oh, it turns, that's a good sign. So something else that can happen is that you can get that weld on the nut tab inside the frame will break loose, and then you'll just sit here and spin. You gotta cut your bolt. My bolt's coming out on the driver's side, so that hasn't happened, but it can. So this is all a good sign. Oh, so much rust came out. All right, we got lucky on this side, so let's get this part done. All right. Oh, look at that. That's a head bolt. That's not even, These things are nasty. In my experience, we just got insanely lucky on the driver's side. And it does help that it's not the factory stuff, but look at this. That's a head bolt. Someone took an engine bolt. Might have actually been Corby. I think he said something. I'm gonna go get fresh hardware. We're not putting that rusty stuff back in. The bushing's intact. Threads are rusty but intact. We'll blow them out, put some anti-seize in. Still worried about this side. That is not a good sign. I'm gonna go get hardware. I'll be right back, and we'll get the driver's side in. We're gonna pre-grease our poly. Always pre-grease your poly. Okay, get that bolt lined up. Sometimes the hardest thing. Pretty straightforward install. The torque spec on these 14 mil is gonna be 140 foot-pounds. We are not torquing our rubber bushing until we have our Jeep back down under its weight. We'll torque this top one, and I'm gonna make a small tweak to the Zerk fitting with the 10 millimeter wrench. We want this pointed outwards for easy access. It's hard to do. Let's see if I can get where I want. There we go. Okay, see, we want this grease fitting pointed outwards so we don't tighten them all the way down. That one's gonna be pretty easy to access to keep this greased. That looks way better. If you want to add a little bit of color to your shackles, or if you have a theme, you can always get the red like we've done on this Jeep, or whatever color you want. Now the hard part begins. I'm not excited, but I'm hoping the Free-All has done its job and it's just a ton of rust. But if it's cross-threaded, we could be cutting. We're not gonna know until we try. I bet they put a 9/16 in here, and it's supposed to be 14 mil. That'll cross-thread it, but I could be wrong. We'll see. That almost feels like the bolt like twisting, but not turning. Does that make sense? Like it's gonna break. I only got so much leverage with this tire. Oh, you can see that bushing completely coming out. Oh, that felt like maybe movement and not a twisting bolt. Yeah, that's actually a good sound when you hear that metal turning. That means we're threading out. It's not easy enough for that. If this isn't the smallest ratchet I have for a 1/2 inch, it's not easy. I feel like it's spinning out. Oh my gosh. I just realized what's happening. The reason they had issues is that bolt, see how that's bending out? That bolt is seized in the crush sleeve of that bushing. The bolt rusted to it. Explains a lot. It's good news in that our nut tab inside the frame seems to be okay. It's bad news in that we're gonna be cutting something, or we're gonna be ruining our frame bracket. To get the shackle out, we're gonna have to cut that side and that side. But that means we're just gonna have this little bit of bolt to grab onto to thread it out. And generally these crush sleeves that's fused up in there are hardened, so cutting through them with the Sawzall is gonna be a pain. I'm not gonna thread it out anymore because we're gonna bend that bracket. I do need to cut the head of that bolt off for sure. So I think we start there. And hopefully we have enough of the bolt to hold on to. That's the plan, let's do it. Oh, That is hot. Okay, first cut done. I'm getting glasses on. All right, I got glasses. They are dirty, but we're gonna undo the bottom bolt on the shackle so we can maybe maneuver it to get it out of our way a little more. I am so happy. That frame nut seems okay. I do question how they got this bolt in with the exhaust here. So we just cut this bolt. This crush sleeve might be an issue, but I'm actually gonna try to cut through the shackle here on the side of the weld, maybe through the edge of the bushing. Give us as much of that bolt as possible. Okay, let's see. I think we can get that back. That's smarter. It gave us a lot more room on that bolt. The more we can have of that bolt out, the better. I think we can get a little more. That's about the best we can do. Let's get this cut and see what we can get out. There we go. That's definitely it. Got it. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. That threaded out by hand. Those threads, they don't look too bad. We've avoided worst case. Worst case is when that nut is gone and you got to replace it. So you're cutting it out, welding it. It looks like it's still good. Second worst case is that our bolt right here was seized inside that crush sleeve. So it actually worked out best case scenario for what we were dealing with. I'm gonna take a win and give it to free all. If you're working on one of these old Jeeps or any old vehicle, free all, I will live and die by penetrating fluid. We are in no way affiliated with them, but it's your friend. I knew we were gonna have issues with this Jeep, and it's literally been soaking in free all for the last couple days because I knew I was gonna do this video. If you have an install on something rusty and old, take the extra time and spray some penetrating fluid on it before you actually tackle it. I'm even more of a believer now after taking that bolt out. It literally spun out by hand and the other side came apart so easily. I've had several bad experiences with these leaf springs, shackles, and that frame nut. So I couldn't be more happy. Let's get our other shackle set to length. We'll get a bolt in and then we're done. I haven't torqued the bolts on the other side, but we can do that all on the ground. This one's locking down pretty good. I'm trying to get the U portion to rotate a little bit because we're still a little off. It's moving a little bit. I don't know whose idea it was to put vise on a table with wheels. That was my idea. It is rather annoying. Since it's on the passenger side, we want it sticking out this way. So I'm gonna get it tight. You don't have to go crazy tight on these grease fittings. They're not gonna flush all the way up all the time. And that's okay. All right, let's get her installed. You can see how that's bent out quite a bit, and it is wallowed. As long as you're torqued down correctly, it don't matter. I'm gonna anti-seize that hole a little bit and pre-grease your poly. Oh yeah, that's bent out quite a bit. Maybe that nut isn't perfect. It's just a little tight. It's not that bad. I'm gonna try to show how bent out that is. We're gonna collapse that back down. This factory sheet metal is so flimsy. All right, we're not gonna go too tight on that because we gotta drop our leaf spring and line up our other bolt. I wanna be able to spin it pretty easily. Our leaf spring's a little twisted because of how the axle is. And our U bracket's a little off. It's off just enough to cause me issues. There we go. Just need a little finessing. We are ready to set her down. I cannot emphasize how lucky we got. So glad I don't have to cut and weld a nut. Go back and watch the last video. Maybe it doesn't come through as frustrating as it was, but the Johnny joint upgrade, I messed up like 4 times. So it was frustrating. We're going to the ground. We're gonna torque everything. We're done. Core 4x4. Corby, dude, it's a typical Jeep thing, and I love it. That roof rack is barely hanging on. We're gonna climb up here. Oh yeah, this roof rack is sketchy. We're just really trying to settle out the spring. We've had it up in the air for a couple days, and we don't want any preload on our rubber. So this is where we're actually gonna torque on the ground. Never torque your rubber in the air or not fully compressed. Let the rubber get back to ride height. Then we're gonna torque our bolts to 140 foot-pounds. Let's get our torque wrench. Look at that shackle. So beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. If you want to go at the lower lifts, you're going to have to trim your thread on these. Otherwise, we won't have any adjustment range. There we go. This bumper's not going to let us get a torque on it. Corby, your bumper's annoying. That's not going to let me get a torque on there, but that's good enough. Let's do the top one first. There we go. Okay. I just realized I installed these with the grease fittings back. So it's gonna be really hard if you want them on the front. Pay attention to that. All right, everything's torqued. That's it, boys. We are done. That wraps it up for our video on our adjustable leaf spring shackles. If you need to fine tune the rear end lift height of your Jeep Cherokee XJ or Comanche, check them out. It's nice to be able to dial in that rear end. We'll link them down below. If you have any questions, reach out to our sales team at sales@core4x4.com. Like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me out in what we're doing here. And let me know what you guys want to see next. We are going to be working on the LJ soon, but after that, it's kind of up in the air. So if you have something you want to see, let me know. Comment down below, and I'll see if I can get to it. As always, I'll see you in the next one.